We all love a good game. But what happens when the rules are twisted? When losing means dying, and the game is rigged from the very start? Welcome to the world of deadly games in movies, where thrill, fear, and survival collide. These aren't just action-packed stories. They're full-blown psychological nightmares, where the players are forced to kill, betray, or die trying. Today, we're diving into some of the most intense, terrifying, and unforgettable deadly games ever shown in film history. From cruel traps to psychological warfare, from twisted masterminds to innocent victims dragged into brutal competitions. Let's explore the dark side of entertainment, where the only way out is to win. So, are you ready? Because once we begin, there's no going back. Number 10. Tribute to Death, Hunger Games 2012. You knew this one was coming. The Hunger Games took the deadly game genre mainstream, with a young heroine who ignited a revolution. In a dystopian future, children from 12 districts are chosen to fight to the death, while the entire nation watches. It's packaged as entertainment, but underneath the glitz, it's a grindhouse of pain. The Capitol cheers, the tributes suffer, and only one is supposed to survive. But then comes Katniss. She doesn't just play the game. She breaks it. She shows that humanity can survive even in the worst conditions. That compassion can be a weapon. That rebellion can start with one small act of defiance. The Hunger Games may be fiction, but its message, deadly games aren't just about survival. They're about control, and what happens when people say, no more. Number 9. Assassin's Game, The Tournament 2009. If John Wick had a battle royale cousin, it would be The Tournament. Every few years, the world's deadliest assassins are selected for a secret competition. The rules: last one standing wins a massive cash prize. Everyone else, dead. It's a city-wide battlefield, buses, rooftops, nightclubs, everything becomes a kill zone. The players are tracked by chips. Bets are placed by millionaires. And the carnage, absolutely non-stop. What makes the tournament so gripping is the pure skill involved. It's not about luck, it's about training, strategy, and cold-blooded execution. Each assassin has a story, a reason to fight, and watching them collide is like watching gods battle in a crumbling world. Number 8. Cruel Choices, Would You Rather 2012. What would you do for money? In Would You Rather, a group of desperate people are invited to a dinner party by a mysterious billionaire. He offers them help, money, treatment, salvation. But there's a catch. They have to play a game. A game of Would You Rather. But instead of choosing between silly dares, they choose between torture and death. Would you rather shock another player, or be shocked yourself? Would you rather stab someone, or be stabbed? And with each round, the choices get harder and bloodier. The game is simple, but the emotional weight, crushing. Watching people break, cry, and still choose to harm others. It's a masterclass in ethical horror. Because in the end, it's not about survival. It's about how much of your soul you're willing to give up to win. Number 7. Humans as Prey, The Hunt 2020. Now, let's shift to something more political, more brutal, and more controversial. In The Hunt, 12 strangers wake up in a field, gagged, confused, and surrounded by weapons. Then, the shooting starts. They are being hunted. For sport, the game, rich elites capturing ordinary people, based on internet posts and conspiracy theories, and hunting them like animals. But here's the twist. One of the victims isn't who they expected. She fights back, and the game turns around completely. What makes The Hunt fascinating isn't just the violence, it's the social commentary. It plays with politics, cancel culture, and the idea of justice twisted into revenge. It's violent, it's chaotic, but underneath it all, it asks, when we label people as enemies, do we forget they're still human? Number 6. One Room, One Question, One Rule, Exam 2009. Sometimes, the deadliest games don't involve weapons. They involve your mind. In Exam, 8 candidates are locked in a room for a final job interview. There's one question, but the paper is blank. They're told, you have 80 minutes. There is only one question, only one answer. But if you spoil your paper, talk to the guard, or leave the room, you're disqualified. What follows is a psychological thriller with no violence, just mind games, paranoia, and power plays. The group begins to unravel, turning on each other, trying to figure out what the real test is. Is it a logic puzzle, a moral dilemma, or something darker? As tensions rise, we realize, the real question isn't on paper. It's in how far people will go, to get ahead. It's subtle, it's smart, and it proves that sometimes, the most dangerous games, are played in silence. Number 5. The original death game, Battle Royale 2000. Before the Hunger Games, before Squid Game, there was Battle Royale. This Japanese cult classic set the blueprint for modern deadly game stories. The setup: a dystopian government selects a class of high school students. They're taken to a remote island, given weapons, and told, kill each other until only one remains. It's brutal, fast-paced, and emotionally devastating. Friendships are tested, romances are destroyed, and innocence is shattered. What makes Battle Royale stand out is its raw emotion. These aren't adult criminals or volunteers. They're teenagers, scared, confused, betrayed by the adults who raised them. The game doesn't care about love or loyalty, only survival, and by the end, even the winners feel like they've lost something they can never get back. Number 4. Kill or Be Killed, the Belco Experiment 2016. Office jobs can be stressful, but imagine walking into work and being told, kill 3 of your coworkers, or 6 will die. Welcome to the Belco Experiment, a corporate survival game that explodes into madness. In this film, 80 employees are locked inside their office building. Metal shutters slam down, communication is cut off, and a voice comes over the speaker, giving them horrifying instructions. The goal: to see how quickly people will turn on each other when their lives are on the line. At first, they try to reason, to organize, to resist. But the game doesn't wait. Heads start exploding, literally, thanks to chips planted in their skulls. And what starts as panic, quickly becomes bloodshed. The real horror here isn't just the violence, it's watching morality dissolve. Seeing who snaps, who schemes, who kills, and the chilling realization that in the right conditions, anyone can become a monster. Number 3. The original torture game, Saw 2004. Now let's talk about one of the most infamous deadly game franchises of all time, Saw. When it came out in 2004, audiences were stunned. This wasn't your usual horror film. This was a game of choices and consequences. Jigsaw, the mastermind, doesn't just kill. He tests. He traps his victims in nightmarish situations and gives them a chance to live. If they're willing to suffer, cut off your own leg, dig through someone's stomach, rip out your eye. The rules are always clear. The timer always ticks, and the victims, they have to decide how much they're willing to lose to survive. The brilliance of Saw isn't just the gore, it's the psychology. Each trap is designed based on the victim's past, their crimes, regrets, or sins. It's not murder, it's a twisted form of justice. At least, that's what Jigsaw believes. And that's what makes the game so deadly. You might survive, but you'll never be the same again. Number 2. Escape Room, Solve or Die. Next up is a film that takes the concept of puzzle solving and cranks it up to 1000 volts. In Escape Room, 6 strangers are invited to test an escape room experience for a mysterious prize. But as soon as the doors close, the game turns lethal. Rooms freeze, floors collapse, gas fills the air, and every second becomes a countdown to death. Each room is themed: a winter cabin, an upside-down bar, a hospital, and every detail is designed to manipulate, stress, and kill. But here's the twist. The rooms are tailored to the player's traumas. It's not random, it's personal. This isn't just about clues. It's about memory, pain, and survival. The game is run by unseen elites, watching like it's their favorite sport. And as the survivors get closer to the truth, they realize they're not just escaping a room. They're escaping a system built to break them. Number 1. A Playground of Death, Squid Game. Let's start with a global sensation, Squid Game. Yes, it's technically a series, not a movie, but its impact. Absolutely cinematic. Hundreds of desperate people, drowning in debt, are invited to play children's games for a life-changing prize. Simple, right? Well, not quite, because in this game, if you lose, you die. Red light, green light, becomes a massacre. Marbles, becomes a betrayal. And by the time you reach the final round, you're no longer the same person. What makes Squid Game so chilling is how it disguises cruelty behind nostalgia. The colors are bright, the sets are playful, the guards wear quirky masks. But beneath all that, it's a slaughterhouse. Every decision, every alliance, every move is a gamble with your life. It's not just physical survival. It's psychological warfare, and the worst part, you start wondering, would you play, if the prize was worth dying for? Deadly games in movies do more than thrill us. They reflect our deepest fears, and our darkest instincts. They ask tough questions. What would you do to survive? Who would you trust? How far would you go, before you become someone else? Whether it's fighting in a death arena, solving fatal puzzles, or making impossible choices, one thing is always true. In deadly games, winning comes at a cost. Sometimes your life, sometimes your soul. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, congratulations, you survived this game. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dark explorations like this. Until next time, play smart, stay alive, and remember, some games were never meant to be played. Did you enjoy this video? Check out other clips of Amazing 7 and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified our latest videos.